King Von was one of the most notorious shooters from O Block, but even killers have a sweet spot. His problem was he claimed to be in love with Chicago's most feared female assassin, Gakirah Barnes, better known as K.I. Born and raised in Chicago, Von was more than just a rapper. He was widely known as a serial killer from O Block. O Block wasn't always called that. Originally known as Wick City, it became O Block to honor a respected member, O.D. Perry, who was tragically shot and killed. K.I. was a member of STL, short for St. Lawrence, a rival set to O Block. The rivalry between these two sides ran deep and had a history of bloodshed. STL also, after the death of Shondell Gregory, better known as Tuka, renamed their block Tukaville in his memory. At just 15, Tuka was killed, and his name became one of the most disrespected in drill music. Rappers from O Block like Chief Keef, King Von, and Lil Durk would often mention him in their lyrics, fueling the anger and tension between STL and O Block. Despite this violent feud, King Von had a strange fascination with K.I. He would tweet about her frequently, sometimes hinting that he had a crush on her, with tweets such as "Kira be sounding sexy on the phone" on David, and "Lol Kira ain't no lame, I think I love you," even though they were from opposing sides, even tweeting "Good afternoon wifey," where she would respond "Lol hashtag funny ass, what up dude." K.I. was rumored to be behind the shooting that took O.D. Perry's life after O.D. had took out one of K.I. friends, the very event that led to Wick City being renamed O Block. She would even go on to diss O.D. in many tweets such as "Shout out to O.D. for being target practice LOL" and "FOD on that lady, ha." Was this a love real, or was it Von's evil plan to get to K.I.? Von's tweets seemed genuine, yet the tension between STL and O Block meant there was a thin line between respect and rivalry. Despite his claims of love for her, Von would later become a prime suspect in her death, where K.I. was gunned down at the age of 17. But long before her death, the two had an intense altercation after spotting each other on a train. Immediately, they began to throw hands, with Von coming out on top, landing multiple punches to K.I.'s face. After the fight, Von went online to mock her. He responded to K.I.'s tweet about O.D. Perry with posts like, "See, that's why you be getting beat up and stuff, girl," and even said, "I should have pissed and spit on you after I was beating your ass." K.I. clapped back, claiming she only had a messed up ear and had a bruise on her face, and that she might have a bruise on her face, but she ain't tripping, as her .40 caliber was ready to put a hole in her op's face. From there, the two would go back and forth online for days, continuing to fuel the tension between them. While Von may have had a crush, he never forgot that K.I. was an STL member and that they had killed one of his best friends. It didn't stop there. After the train altercation, Von reportedly went looking for K.I. at a local corner store. When some of K.I.'s friends spotted him approaching, they locked the doors, blocking Von from entering. Naturally, Von took to Twitter to air out the incident, and their exchanges continued to become less playful and more intense, where she tweeted that he was a goofy 2 years ago, and her twin, FBG Butta, had beaten up Von on a school bus, and now he's drilling hashtag little Davon. The beating from FBG Butta had apparently left a mark on Von from their school days, and K.I. was using it to taunt him. Von responded, "And you know that other stuff I done did to y'all, don't you?" She responded with, "You think you're drilling, you need practice, homie?" Von would proceed to say they need practice and that King Von does his thingy thang and all that. K.I. would clap back with, "You talking too much, ass shitroid. He knows about me." Shiroid was a well-respected O Block member who had passed away just a few months prior. In November 2012, things took a more serious turn. King Von was arrested for unlawful use of a weapon, and this arrest meant he would sit behind bars for over a year. While Von was locked up, his sister tweeted at K.I. saying that Von missed her and wanted her to visit him in jail. K.I.'s response, just a simple alal. On February 11, 2014, Von was released from jail and immediately tweeted at K.I. asking, "What's up, you don't miss me?" K.I. quickly replied with, "What's up, my boy, when we linking?" adding gun emojis to make her intentions clear. Von asked her what was up with the gun emojis and why she never visited him. She didn't respond directly, but in a separate tweet, K.I. said, "How does it feel to lose your homie behind bars?" referring to J Money, one of Von's close friends who was shot and killed while Von was locked up. The tension between them had now hit a breaking point. Not long after, on April 11, 2014, K.I. and FBG Butter were on their way to Wooski's house, another STL member. It was a typical day, and K.I. made a fateful decision. She dropped her location on Twitter. King Von, along with his associates Big A, T. Roy, and Boss Money, saw the tweet. With this information, they made their move. They quickly drove to the rival block where they spotted K.I. and Butter outside a friend's house. Without hesitation, Von and his crew jumped out of the car and opened fire. In the chaos, 3 people were hit. The first victim was an unidentified male who was shot in the foot and later survived his injuries. The second was FBG Butter, K.I.'s friend, who had been with her throughout the day. He was shot in the knee but also survived. The third victim was shot 7 times in critical areas: the neck, heart, stomach, and face. That individual was K.I. She was rushed to the hospital but ultimately passed away due to her injuries. Gakirah Barnes, the feared female assassin, was dead at just 17 years old. The news of her death sent shockwaves throughout the community, leaving STL devastated and O Block without one of its main rivals. Just 18 days after K.I.'s death, Davon Bennett, King Von, was taken into custody for questioning.
Yeah, he really liked Gakirah. And he was like, well, she too pretty for that, and tell her to stop gang banging, you know.
He liked her as a girlfriend?
Yeah, he wanted to be her boyfriend. And she just felt like he was trying to set her up and kill her.
In the interrogation room, Von denied any involvement, going so far as to claim that he didn't even know who K.I. was. Detectives pressed him on his whereabouts, but Von gave 2 separate alibis for the day of the murder. Then he even agreed to take a polygraph test to prove his innocence. But when the time came, he changed his mind and refused to take it. With a lack of concrete evidence, the district attorney ultimately decided not to prosecute. Once again, King Von walked free. His alleged involvement in K.I.'s death left unresolved. The story of King Von and K.I. is one of love, hate, betrayal, and revenge. Their relationship was marked by deadly games of taunts, tweets, and street altercations. In a world where loyalty to the gang often overshadows personal feelings, even the most infamous rivalries have their moments.